Hello and welcome to the last in our series 4 of Cuppa Tea with the Vet. And
Hi.
we've got Viktoria Tsari joining us today from First Vet. So thank you so much for joining us, Viktoria. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Of course. Hello. So I'm Victoria. I come from Greece. I've started my journey in UK about 10 years ago. So when I moved there, I qualified about 10 years ago in Greece, and I started working in UK. I've worked in quite a few places, and I've been locuming the past 2-3 years, so that adds a lot more in the number. I've qualified as small animal surgeon, so that's my kind of extra qualification. And I've been working at First Vet the past year or so.
Oh, that's really lovely. I really love talking to our foreign vets that come over, really, 'cause we've got quite a few of them. I do have a large array of different vets that come on this show, and it's really nice to hear the story behind so many of them. Oh, blimey, I'm so sorry if I pronounce this name wrong. Eleni, I'm just going to stop there. Hi, lovely vet. So, is that your mum?
No, she's a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine.
Thank you so much for joining us, Lani. It's lovely to have you on here. And yes, thank you. So far so good. She seems lovely so far. This is lovely. So what brought you over to the UK?
Well, to be honest with you, I always wanted to live abroad to see, like, meet different people, different culture, work in a different environment. So it was all like a kind of thing, like a youngster thing, to go back like 10 years ago. So yeah, it was all about learning about new stuff, really. And I
Why
ended
the
up
UK?
living 10 years there.
Wow. So why the UK? Like, why not anywhere else?
Not sure, to be honest with you. I had a friend, so I just she helped me out. So I stayed at hers for a couple of months, and then I started working. So I moved.
Oh, that does help. And you decided not to go back?
Well, I'm not sure, to be honest with you yet, but I loved the place so much. I made so many friends there, so many lovely friends, and obviously, everything that's job related is like an experience that's I wouldn't really I'd never regret. It's great working in the UK. It's one of the leading schools. Um, so yeah, that was amazing. It's been
Gosh,
great.
that's lovely. Whereabouts have you been in the UK?
So everywhere, I would say. So working as a locum, like it's all about like traveling and working in different practices. So mostly south, I would say. So London, around London, in Kent. This is where my journey started. Um, Everywhere, pretty much.
That's amazing. Oh, that's really. And what's your favourite bit so far then?
Place, you mean? I think London is in my heart.
Oh wow! Are you a bit of a
Yeah.
city dweller before, in Greece? Were you from a city part?
No, I come from a very small place, like it's a very small town, but London is definitely something different. I don't know if somebody can live there forever, but the time that I lived there for was the most amazing time of my life.
I think most people do say London's like a good phase. So like it I don't know. I mean, people do live there forever. Of course they do. There's some real Londoners through and through. But I think most people do tend to just do a phase of it, and then they love that phase, and then they move back out again, or they move in for that phase and stuff like that.
True.
So, yeah, it's a very transient's probably the word. It turns over a lot. It's a bizarre place, isn't it? But I mean, I like
It
going for
is.
a visit, but I wouldn't live there. I find it a bit too like, whoa, too many
I
people.
know.
Bit
I
scary.
know. I
But
don't know. It's not forever for me.
no, absolutely. No, it's really lovely. And Alina has also come on to show you more love. We love Victoria. This is lovely. Good. I love to hear it. Thank you so much for joining in. This is great.
You
Anybody else
see,
watching?
vets have amazing friends. This is what keeps them going on.
This is so true. This is so true. So what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, lots of things, to be honest with you. I like to do new things. So it's not that I have a hobby the past 20 or 30 years of my life. So I've tried many things. Cooking is something that I've always done, but I like drawing a lot.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, uh, quite a few sports I've tried in my life, and tennis is one of the recent one. Yeah, going outside, enjoying nature, just simple things.
Oh, that's really lovely. It's nice you've got such a diverse background, isn't it? I mean, so let's start on the cooking front. What are you liking to cook? What's your cuisine of choice? Do you
I
stick with the
think
homely stuff?
Greek mainly, to be honest with you, but I love sushi, so this is my last like kind of attempt, and I did really well.
Well done. Well done. I was very proud of myself. I baked Alaska last week and I'm still harping on about it because it was amazing. Do you actually know what baked Alaska is? Because as you're Greek, you may not.
Not really. Baking is not my thing, to be honest with you.
No, that's fine. I just thought I'd give it a go. It's a really, really old retro cake where it's basically
Okay.
cake covered in ice cream, covered in meringue, and then you cook it and you have to hope to God all the ice cream doesn't just melt before you get it out of the oven. So yeah, I was super proud of myself. No, that's really lovely. And so the sports side of it as well, you said you have just started sport. Most people don't change their sports. So like
I
what else?
know.
It's nice
Well,
that you're good.
I've tried different things like Zumba, a bit of yoga. What else? In my young life, things like volleyball and stuff. But yeah.
Oh wow, that's really brilliant. And so you just have a pick, have a try, and just see how it goes. That's
Yeah.
lovely. I mean, but they're all so completely different as well. I mean, Zumba's just nothing but sheer fun in a massive group of
I
people.
know.
And then,
I am
like,
injured now, so I can't. I do nothing at the moment, which is not good. But hopefully, I will get back soon.
yeah, ignore it. Yeah, fix it. I don't mean ignore it. I mean fix it, and then yes, carry on. Definitely, it makes you
I need
happy.
a bit of physio, to be honest with you, Donna.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Oh no, that's great. Yeah, because tennis. Otherwise, that's quite hard work because you're only on your own there. You haven't got a team of people around you to sort of pick up the pieces if you or whack the ball back for you.
Exactly. It's not like a team game at all. No.
That's lovely though. I am just gonna catch up on these messages and one you're really gonna have to help me out with in a minute. Oh yeah, our vet is a dancing amazing Zumba. That is amazing. I love hearing that. That's so cool. Yeah, you'd be careful. I'll get you jumping up and doing a little demo. Is it Tanya? There's no way I can read that.
You have to read that. That's my mom. She doesn't speak English, so she says,
That's fine. Hi, Mum.
"This is from our company. You're making us proud."
Ah, good. Glad to hear it. Good. Glad to hear it. Thank you so much for joining. Tell her in Greek now, quickly. Thank you for joining us.
Μαμά, σε ευχαριστώ. Το όνειρό σου γίνεται πραγματικότητα.
I'm going to hope you didn't swear.
No, I haven't.
Oh no, that's brilliant. It's not even letters I can guess at trying, and I do try. I'm learning German at the moment, so I
Oh
have picked
God.
the language. I'm trying. It's just not that.
German is difficult. It's very difficult.
I can say Kalinakta. Is that good
Yeah.
night?
Good night. Yeah.
There you
Well
go.
done.
I can try and remember that at the end of this. That's my Greek friend. And Vio also says, hello.
Hi.
And again, I hope I've pronounced that right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This is really lovely. So what made you decide to be a vet, Victoria?
Well, I think as far as I remember myself, I always had like a genuine love for animals and everything around me that was not human being. So I always respected so much the nature, like the trees, everything as a child as well. So it was something that maybe it was meant to be. It sounds a bit romantic, but that was the way. And the other thing, as like a grown up, I always loved to help, whether it was people or animals. It didn't really matter, but the vet really combines these two, so it was the perfect match. I would say.
Oh, that's lovely. And it's really nice hearing you say that it's the perfect match and a combination between the human and animal part, because I think so many people forget that, they think, oh, this is all about treating the animal, but actually it's a lot about looking after the owner as well. And so it's really lovely
Definitely.
to hear that. And because if you don't get on with that part, it can be such a difficult profession. And
It
actually
would.
quite limiting in how much you can achieve, because you've got to be able to get it across to the owners. So yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, really nice and lovely reason for getting into veterinary. I've got to make sure that our audience is being listened to, because they've all jumping on and saying stuff, which is lovely. I think that 100 is to me saying my bit of Greek. That's what I'm taking that as.
That's another friend of mine. Yeah, it's definitely for you, Donna.
Yay!
I talked to her about you, so.
Amazing, amazing. And View says, which therapy works best for a cat with a spinal surgery?
Well, that's a bit out of my colleague, to be honest with you, because I'm a surgeon, but I'm not a spinal surgeon. I'm mostly soft tissue, so I would say combination of things. Obviously, treating pain is very important. A bit of physio as well, and that's the amazing part of it, that you can actually get help from different kind of specialists. It's not just your vet, so you can always get referred to do what is needed to be done.
Absolutely. And I mean, when I was reading that question, I was thinking, oh, I wonder if that's aimed at me, actually. And just because I'm like the word therapy obviously being used, and I think the one thing we have to remember is multimodal is the key. And this is the word we use in so many things now, which means using multiple types of therapy to get the end result that you need. So it's never a case of there's this one problem, it's treated in one way. It has to be treated in lots of different, well, it doesn't have to be treated in lots of different ways. It has to be the right method of journey of treatment,
Exactly.
the right patient and the right issue. So it's actually very complicated, and two cats with spinal surgery will not be treated the same.
Treated the same. Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. But an excellent question. So thank you so much, Vio. What's your favorite part of being a vet?
Well, apart from obviously the kind of technical and practical part of it, which I love. I love being like in a theater. I can stay there the whole day doing surgery. Apart from that, I feel like being able to communicate with animals through their owners, it's something amazing. If you think about it in depth, they speak to you. Well, obviously in their own ways as well, but through the owners as well. So that kind of three-way communication is really nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What a lovely thing to say. That's going down your yoga front as well, isn't it? So very spiritual answer.
A bit of an affirmation or something.
It was, but it's really nice. It's really nice. I think it's lovely. And I totally agree with you. So yeah, no, that's perfect. And Christos has sent you some love hearts. Isn't that lovely? Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
And so have you got any pets? Have you gone down that road, being that you're quite movable, aren't you? So have you managed to get any pets, or have you acquired anything yet?
I have a little dog at the moment. I used to have a couple of budgies as well, but they've gone, unfortunately. But they lived a really good life. They reached 10 or 12 years, both. But yeah, I have a little Chihuahua cross. She was a rescue dog. She's not here, but I have a little, I don't know if you can see it, a little statue of her.
Oh,
yeah. She's so little.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, bless her. Wow. Oh, that's nice. So you have managed to get some of your own little family together as well. That's really lovely.
Yeah.
And the budgies, that's so cute. Did you manage to get them to speak and do anything, or were they just happy little budgies in your house?
No, they were doing a lot of things. I spent quite well the time that I have. I divided between my loved ones, so my pets are definitely included in that time. So I spend a lot of time training them. My dog knows quite a lot of things.
That's so lovely, though. It's really important. One of my fellow physios who actually lives in Germany, she actually has a PhD in chicken behavior. And so she
Oh,
would teach them to do all sorts of things. And I just thought that was absolutely amazing because, people don't think about training birds, do they? I mean, we
they are
see
so
dogs on
clever.
TV, but they are exactly. It's quite amazing because when you sit there and think about brain mass, you recognize
I
that actually
know.
isn't, but it's not necessarily that important. Do you know what I mean? Like these tiny little heads can do so cool stuff. And you just think, wow, especially when the ones that learn to talk and all that sort of thing as well, you just think, yeah, birds are quite incredible, actually. So, yes,
They
that's
are.
fantastic. I do have quite a shocking story, actually. It's probably not that funny, really, but I'm going to share it anyway. Because I had this budgie as well that I was looking after. Had him for absolutely ages, got on really well with my dog. There was no issue whatsoever. Never,
Oh,
ever,
I know where
no,
it's going. Don.
it's not. No, no, no. It's not a really bad ending, but it was a shock
Okay.
to us all. So don't panic. I wouldn't share otherwise. But the budgie used to fly from curtain rail to curtain rail, and I
Yeah.
got this. The budgie came to us because it was rescue, and so it'd been left with us at the vet. So it was like, okay, we've got to look after it. And anyway, it was very, very happy, very, very happy, very, very happy. Not an issue ever, ever, ever. Then all of a sudden one day it was going swooping lower and lower. It was taking to doing this to the dog on purpose. So it was always swooping down lower and lower and lower over the dog. And it was never a thing. And then all of a sudden one day my dog just went,
Oh my
and
God.
yeah, it flew into his mouth. And do you know what though? He just went, uh-oh. Like you could see his face go, that wasn't the plan. And then he just spat out the budgie, and the budgie sort of went, whoa, didn't see that coming. And the thing is, both dog and budgie were both in complete shock. And then budgie never did this ever again, and the dog never did this ever again. And they would never talk of this ever again.
Oh
The
dear.
budgie always continued to fly backwards and forwards, but just never quite so low. But it was just like, oh my goodness, but there was no harm done. Budgie continued
Well,
to be very happy for a very
good
long time.
ending.
So, but it was just like one of those moments you think, oh my life, didn't see that coming. But anyway,
Have you recorded that?
no, well, I didn't expect it. It was completely off the wall. And my goodness me, it just made me think, no, dogs and budgies, no. But it was never intended. It was never an intended match. But yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only person to have this report, I can tell you.
No.
It's not a cat or anything like that. But anyway, it was all fine in the end. But wow, it was a shock. I'm clearly still traumatized.
Yeah, I can tell.
Vio has also said, thank you for your answer. Good vibes. Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that you liked the answer. You are welcome. And oh, that was it. Lovely. That's right. My comments got all mixed up there. That was a bit weird. So what part of being a vet grosses you out still? Is there anything?
Well, probably not literally, because vomit, diarrhea, like, no, we went beyond this. We can eat like by.
There's normally always something. I'm impressed if you really have managed to get guts of steel, because that's very rare. Most people have got
Well,
something.
Unless, because that reminds me of a little story as well. Unless 5 dogs of the same family ate at the same time chocolate, and they came straight to the vet to actually make them spit it out. Let's put it like that. Unless, but no, to be honest with you, literally nothing grosses me out. Maybe it's mostly like talking, not literally. Maybe behaviors, like bad behaviors around the practice. That would probably be the only thing that maybe I haven't got over again. Still.
Oh, bless you. Yeah. So you have good high standards, and I think that is absolutely reasonable. So yeah,
Well,
that's fair enough. Absolutely. Everybody should have that. So that's a good answer. And yes, the chocolate vomit is particularly disgusting, isn't it? It's a distinct smell that nobody ever forgets. So
no.
every Easter and Christmas, everybody goes, oh God.
Exactly. Peak season for that.
It is. That is totally fair enough. So what would your dream achievement be if time and money was no object?
Good question. If time, I will add something to the question and then I will answer it if that's okay. So
Yeah.
if time, money, and people around you wouldn't matter. So, and I will explain why. So probably if I haven't had my loved ones around me, I would be traveling around the world, helping people in need, animals in need, anybody in need. So yeah, I think that would be the thing.
Oh, that's really lovely. You sound like Mother Teresa. That's amazing. I don't mean that in a really rude way. I mean genuinely, these really lovely answers. So
Well, it is honest, to be honest with
yes,
you. I love volunteering a lot, and this was one of the things that I loved in UK because people like care a lot. So
that's
yeah.
really lovely. And it's really it shows that you've genuinely thought about it as well, because of the fact that you mentioned about, you know, your family and friends being around you and that being inhibitory, because
Yeah.
it's true, isn't it? Because that is the one thing that's a struggle with going and traveling, is missing your friends and family. So yes, my Greek friends have moved back in the last 4 months, 5 months,
Mm.
and yeah, having lived here for longer than they lived there. And that's why I said, you lived here longer than you lived there, you know. And but it got too much and they finally went. So yeah, I can understand it. So it is very difficult. But that's a lovely goal, and something you can still work towards as well, because ultimately you can still go off and do volunteering in patches of time. Just has to be
Definitely.
permanent. So yes, I can see how you can make that happen. That's not an unachievable goal. So yeah,
I mean, in a way that like devoting my life to it, if I had the chance. Well,
yeah.
it's a
I
word,
believe
not
that you
disrespecting.
there's ways you could at least dip your toe into it without
Definitely.
you know, so you can feel like you've done something. That's, yeah, it's just lovely, because sometimes people's goals and dreams are so big that there's no chance. So
I know. Well, you
yeah.
can do small things. You're right. I have volunteered in the past, and I keep doing it. But yeah, it's like small bits of it. Well, it's still something. If
Yeah,
everybody thinks this way, then the world will definitely be better.
absolutely. And because the thing is, that never disappears either. It's not like you can do volunteering and woohoo, I've now spayed every single cat in the world. That doesn't
That's
happen. So
it. Yeah, that's true.
it's another ending thing, isn't it? So yeah, that's a big one. That is a big one. So if you could do a Facebook chat live like this with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
So I love art a lot. I've never been that involved because I never had the time to. So I would speak to maybe a painter, maybe Van Gogh, for example, that I love, and tell him that he was finally recognized because he didn't know.
Oh
he,
wow.
yeah, he died before really knowing that his art was well. Probably he knew that it was amazing, but he didn't know that people actually admired that too. So yeah,
I know what you
maybe
mean.
an artist. Yeah,
That's a really good point, actually. I think that's the case for most artists, isn't it? Or a lot of them. They
true.
don't get found out until they've gone. And but it's really cool. You're not the first arty vet we've had on, you know. We've got one other one. Have you got any pictures to hand you can quickly pull in and show us?
Not really.
Are you one of those sketchy artists? Like, you know,
um,
pencil drawings, or are you
I do, and I used to actually draw. How are they called? Icons? No, you know, in Greek churches that they have the kind of how they're called. I can't find the word, but the saints, you know, in the church, they are represented through like icons. So
Oh yeah.
it is a kind of art. It's a special art to draw them. You have to know specific things. So I used to do that,
Oh
but I
wow.
recently discovered charcoal as well, and I love it. So yeah.
I have got a friend who does the pencil and the charcoal sketches, and they make faces look so real. It's like a photo. And you think,
Yeah.
How did you do that? And it's because I've seen that. I've now Facebook feeds it to me all the time, so I keep watching. I'm like, how do people do that?
It's
And
amazing.
I did try. I tried. I sat down once with a photo and a grid, and I tried to do something. And I was like, oh my, I just draw like a 4-year-old. Brilliant.
It doesn't matter, you know. It's like it's no matter whether you're talented or not. It's really like a good stress-free kind of activity. It's really nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. It definitely is. Well, it probably is for some. I think I'd prefer to stick with making jam. I like the idea of drawing. It's just like so rubbish. It's not stress free. I'm just like, I can't do it. So,
I can't do it.
I found it very stressful, but I do love art and I love craft and I love. I've just got a pyrography set lately. I don't know if you know what that is. It's where you burn wood and you burn your.
Okay, I've never heard of it. Fair enough.
Oh, you have to Google now because you'll definitely
Well,
want
I
to.
will. Now that you said, you know.
It's really good. It's really good. I really like it. And I've made a load of signs and stuff like that with it. It's very, very cool. So yes, just the art of burning wood. There you go.
Great.
um, so what's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
I'm not sure. Maybe I traveled like for no reason spontaneously. Like I decided on Friday I want to go somewhere on Saturday and did
Wow.
that. Did that probably.
Wow. Where did you go?
To be honest with you, as vets, I think that we're control freaks. You probably agree. So, I don't know. We want to be spontaneous, but maybe we're not enough. Now that you're saying that, I'm thinking of it. So maybe I'll try to be a bit more spontaneous in the future.
We have had some incredible spontaneity things on here.
Answer.
So some vets are actually incredibly spontaneous. One of the vets came in, her husband, she'd found because she'd managed to do not condoning this behavior in the slightest, but it's the story she told us. She found this guy online and actually decided that actually he was awesome. And she flew across the world to go and see him. And he came back with her and now they're married. It's like,
wow. Okay.
yeah, exactly. So so it does happen. It does happen. She is happy and it's all great. But yeah, I was like literally thinking, whoa, when I heard that
I
one.
think
So,
you're the exception. I still feel that we are control freaks.
I know, I definitely agree with that. I do definitely agree with that. And it's funny. I'll share one of my spontaneous stories just because it really backs you up and it's also quite funny at the same time. So my friend works at Bungee and does bungee jumping and
Wow.
she does lots of things. Oh, she does lots of things, but she's been banging on about me doing bungee jumps for years, which I was like, no, no, no.
No.
And anyway, I went to go and meet her for lunch. Now I thought years have passed of me going, no, no, no. So I thought it's safe enough for me to go and meet her for lunch. So I went and met her for lunch. And but in the back of my mind, I could hear her saying, why don't you jump? Why don't you jump? And so I thought, oh God, I know I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted. I'm terrible. So I thought it wasn't me deciding I'm doing it. I'm not. I'm going to lunch, but I did put some shorts in my bag because I had a skirt on. So this is what I was saying about you makes me laugh is because there was an element of control freak in that situation. Just in case spontaneity might happen. So
You see?
So anyway, I didn't tell her I had shorts in my bag because I thought I'm not poking the bear. That's crazy. But anyway, we had lunch and then she did exactly what I knew she'd do. And she convinced me to do a blooming bungee jump. And I was like, well, I'm not doing it on my own. So we did a tandem jump. So I popped my shorts on. But that meant my husband and my child both were not there to see it. And I thought, well, nobody's not seeing this. That's not how this is going. So I actually did it live on Facebook because I was like, then everybody can see. Because I was it was mad, absolutely mad. But it was really good fun. So anyway, there is we can be spontaneous, but I definitely agree that it's definitely hard work and there is an element of planning no matter what. but it's a lovely thought. So where did you go on your break?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Where did you go? You said you did go. You decided on Friday to go and you went Saturday, but where did you go?
It happened a lot of times, so
Oh, okay.
I can't tell you. Yeah, it's like little spontaneous things every day. I think I am spontaneous, like, but in everyday things, not in big things.
Listen,
And like,
when somebody says, "Would you like a cup of tea?" and you say yes, that does not
yeah,
count. Okay, that does not count. But I like your style for trying.
but yeah,
Right, lovely. Well, tell us a bit about why you decided to join First Vet, because now you're working on telemedicine. Like, what made you
yes.
change to that? Because that's quite a leap from surgery. Were you
Well,
doing
yeah,
both?
that's true. There's a story behind it. So at the start of the pandemic, I used to work as a locum at the time, and there were not plenty of like jobs around anyway. It was the pandemic as well, so everybody was quite kind of scared of not knowing what to do. So I had time, and obviously I couldn't really not do anything because I used to work 12 hours a day. So that was not an option for me. So I started my own company. So I created my own website. It was a telemedicine company, and it was generally a move to help people in the pandemic because there were so many people that they couldn't really reach the vet for many reasons, health reasons or other reasons. So that was the main reason that I started it. And then I got into it trying to actually learn more things about telemedicine, how it used to work in humans, how it's working now in animal medicine. And that was the start of it. Obviously, as things were going forward, I was more involved with it, and then I came like in touch with First Vet, which is one of the actually leading companies worldwide that they do animal telemedicine, and this is where like how it started. But it's amazing that you can remotely help and mainly guide people, because many owners, this is what they mostly need at times, to be guided, to actually know what their next move is going to be. Do I need to go to the vet? Do I not need to go? Is it like, because for many pets and many owners, it's difficult, whether they are far, whether it's a struggle for their animal, for a lot of reasons to actually be at the vets. And if something can be solved and if they can be guided through a video call or just a call, then that's amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, it is lovely. And I can definitely see how, I mean, yeah, veterinary just got changed so much during the pandemic, didn't it? And this is it, the new side of it. I mean, I just found out that my life insurance provides 24/7 GP appointment, like telephone. And I was like, really? I had no idea. And I was so glad that my friend told me, because I was like, that's quite helpful. So yeah, so that's my point, is I can see where you're coming from the human perspective as well, because it's not something I'd even thought about before. And then now all this availability, and you're right, people just need to talk sometimes. It's support, which is really helpful. So well done. And so you said you started your website. Is that the Funny Feet one? Or
Yes, that's it. That's the one.
how did that name come along? Because I'm not going to lie, it does sound like you might have funny feet. So
No, not at all. It's just that I generally see life from like its fun perspective. So, and humor and fun is something that keeps me going, let's say. So,
good.
yeah, that was the inspiration behind it.
Oh, that's lovely. It's all right. It's just when I think of that, unfortunately, this is going to probably gross you out. It grosses me out. On the Facebook reels, there was one with a man who had this funny feet. They're like, they're a throwback of a genetic gene from when we were
Okay.
apes, and he's got his extra thumb joint in his toe, so it comes down
Wow.
here. So he's got like literally
Wow.
hands for feet. So now, unfortunately, that's what I think of. So, I mean, it's memorable though, isn't it? I mean, I didn't have to keep
You
looking.
see?
It's definitely memorable, but now I'm thinking that's what your feet look like.
You're probably the first person that's been honest with me, because everybody was like, oh, it's a great name.
I'm not saying it isn't a great name. I think it is a great name. I'm just saying that I also have images that have come along with it. That's all. I'm a very imaginative person. It kind of,
Perfect.
it goes with the territory. But no, I do think it's a lot of fun, and it's very lovely and very inviting, and the inviting is really important, actually. So yes, I think it's brilliant. But I was just super curious as to the state of your feet.
No.
I also think you probably have got major obsession with looking at paws. And actually, as a physio, yes, and as a physio, I can tell you that I am thrilled to hear that, because the feet are always the forgotten soul, literally. I didn't even mean that pun. Yes, so I think that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So what does Funny Feet do now? So that is telemedicine as well, then, is it?
Yes, that's right. It's more of a supportive, like, kind of website. I'm trying to post videos or articles or anything that could actually help people, pet owners out, anything new, or anything really.
That's lovely. That's really lovely and so important. There's so much information out there. It's really hard for owners to sieve through the wheat from the chaff, as it were, and actually find the good stuff. So it's really nice that there's more and more places to go for good stuff. Good information that actually comes from vets. So well done. Well done. So I always like to ask as well, what do you love about physio?
Whoa. So I'll share a little story. It's nothing special. It's a bit creepy, but I will explain. So when I started being a vet, one of the first surgeries I've done was a leg amputation. Not one of the best ones, or well, it is helpful in some cases, but whatever. That was the one. So it took me quite a few hours to start with to do that, but I was amazed because I really realized how connected and how the muscles, the bones, the tendons, everything in the animal's body is connected, and how when they cooperate, they really help an animal out. So thinking about it, physio is a tool really using the animal's own body, nothing more or nothing less. So it's amazing having something that doesn't include drugs, which are not bad. It's really important, and alleviating pain is one of the most important things in veterinary medicine, I believe, and one of the first things. But really having something to support it, or even in some cases work on its own, that's really amazing. In every way. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And that was very well explained, because yes, I love the discussion about muscles and body use and body biomechanics, and how it's a symphony of movement, and it's an engagement of muscles at different times and different levels that create the different movements. And it is literally like a dance, and it's incredible because people don't think of it like that. You just think, oh, it's move my arm. But actually the amount of
healing from inside. Yeah. It's amazing. Healing from inside, like using your own body. It's
absolutely
great.
Absolutely. It just makes you feel good to move as well. Lovely.
Definitely.
So thank you so much. So Melissa has come on and asked a question, so I'm just going to quickly answer that one, because I think that one is aimed at me. Do you offer hydrotherapy for rabbits? When my 12-year-old boy was having arthritis treatments last year, we were able to find acupuncture, laser therapy and physio, but not hydrotherapy, sadly. So that question, I don't do hydrotherapy, so that's not me. But I have seen hydrotherapy done in some rabbits. I do physio for rabbits, absolutely. And you're right, you can find all of those other methods for rabbits, definitely, which is fantastic. I'm so glad to hear it, because so many rabbits don't get enough treatment, which is obviously very sad. So well done you for getting all those treatments for your rabbit. I'm thrilled.
Rabbit.
Really
excellent. Honestly, I am amazed. 12-year-old, there are so many good things in that question that I can spot.
Absolutely. But the only thing I will say is, from a hydrotherapy point of view, is rabbits don't handle stress well at all. You know your rabbit best, so you know whether your rabbit would cope with hydrotherapy or not. But that is the reason why a lot of them don't do hydrotherapy, is just because they worry about them being stressed out, because stress is obviously such a big thing for rabbits. They're so sensitive to stress, and it really can be a really not good ending for that situation. So that is the reason for shying away. But if you really wanted to talk about it, then ring up hydrotherapists and see if you can find one to work with. Because like I said, I have seen it done. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but only you would know whether your rabbit genuinely is one that could cope with that type of stress level. And I would know, I don't think anybody could make that decision other than the owner. So you, Melissa, I'm so sorry. Hope that answers your question, though. Thank you so much for asking. That's a really great question. So I just have a few more questions now because I just want to know more about you. So what's the weirdest dream you've ever had?
Weird question. About a weird dream. I'll pick one from yesterday, actually. I just told my partner just before the live, I dreamt of Anthony Hopkins. I can't remember what it was about, but I don't even like that actor. I don't know. I just dreamt of him. Yeah,
that's really random, because isn't he the guy that's like Silence of the Lambs?
I know.
Like, yeah. The dodgy man who wants to eat people. Wow. Not gonna lie, that is completely out there.
That is weird, isn't it?
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. There's no other answer for that. That is definitely you've definitely hit the nail on the head there. What was he doing in this dream?
I can't remember. I can't remember, but I hope there's somebody to actually tell me what it is about.
You've blocked out what he was doing. You don't want to think about that. That's fair enough. Maybe it was just an advert on the TV or something, and it just it was with a film with him in, because that is really weird. It's not even current, is it? I mean, he must be so old now. So that is very funny.
Obviously he has retired. No, he's not like he's not active. Well, I don't know.
I do remember one time I had a dream about Michael McIntyre once, and I woke myself up laughing, like crying with laughter. And I don't know how long I've been laughing in my sleep for, because I had like sore belly from like laughing. And so God knows what it's all about. But what was making me laugh was, all I was thinking was, there's no possible way I could possibly have remembered his jokes. So I must have been making up my own jokes and thinking they were hilarious just because I thought Michael McIntyre had said them. So, but yeah, that was very good. And Melissa also says, thank you. That makes sense. Awesome. I'm so glad to have helped, Melissa. That's, like I say, really great question. So thank you, guys. So have you ever treated any more exotic animals of any zoo sorts, anything like that?
Well, I have met an exotic animal, but I haven't treated it eventually. So it was a little python, so beautiful. Oh my God. But it was a big injury. So I had to refer it. I just treated the pain and gave some analgesia and referred it. But it was a beautiful animal, amazing.
Oh, what happened?
He had a bad skin injury. They naturally peel off, but that didn't go well. So he had to have a lot of treatments, maybe even surgical. I can't remember, to be honest. But it was a very extensive trauma. So yeah, it was. It needed a specialist. I had to refer it.
Oh, poor thing. But well done, though. That's perfect. That's, that's such a joy and delight that we've got available to us, particularly in the south, because we can. There's a lot harder for people up north, particularly. So, and I have a lot of people in a lot of countries contacting me, funnily enough, about their rabbits usually, because I do treat a lot of rabbits, and asking for help, and they just don't even have vets locally to them, let alone physios. So so it is a real blessing that we can do that. So that's wonderful. If you could treat any type of animal in the world, what would it be?
I think a very big mammal, something like, I don't know, an elephant, or something like that. I love elephants. I haven't met one yet. But yeah. And fun enough, I don't like dentistry. It's not my thing at all, but I would love to be involved in like a kind of dental situation with one of those animals. I don't know. It would be exciting.
No, absolutely. Their teeth are absolutely huge as well. Like obviously inside, and then
Yeah,
they usually their reason for dying at the end of their age is because their teeth run out, which is
unfortunately, yeah, I
yeah,
know.
so sad, isn't it? So yeah, so dentistry is really important on those things. I'm pretty sure you can get yourself over there and sort out some elephants, which would be very cool.
I will.
You certainly will. So what's been your most memorable part of being a vet so far?
Um, I have a very nice memory of it was a Labrador. His name was Max. My memory is generally not good, but I really remember this was a lovely dog. So he had a really bad, extensive tumor in, and it was an area that was not approachable with surgery. So we had to really um, select like a different kind of treatment. The options were really limited, but we tried. It was a paper that came out at that time, and they referred to it was a treatment for a different type of tumor, but it could be used to like osteosarcomas, which is a type of bone tumors. So we used that, and the result was really good. So he lived a good 2 years, and this was really unexpected and really lovely. He was a lovely dog, a lovely owner, always by our side and his pet side. So yeah, I was so glad to really cooperate with like my team, the dog, the owner. It was lovely, and I will never forget that.
That's amazing. Oh, lovely. That's a lovely story. That's a great memory to keep with you all the time.
It
So
is.
yeah, and really positive ones. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Um, this is a question that one of my people asked before, and I thought it was a lovely question. So I'm going to make sure I ask. If it was your birthday and you had your birthday wish, what would it be?
Well, every year is my birthday, of course. So every year is a different wish. So I'm not sure. To be honest with you, health is the most important thing for me. And this is what I wish for me and my loved ones. And maybe that's the only wish that I always do. Every other thing is probably achievable, whether you try or with a bit of luck, a lot of effort. But yeah, and we really realized that through the pandemic that that's something that you can't control.
No,
So yeah.
absolutely. And that's a great wish. It will get you back to playing your tennis.
Yeah, I hope so.
There you
Oh
go.
dear.
I'm glad I asked. So, thank you so much. It has been amazing talking to you. And I want to make sure I ask my last question, which is the best question. What's your top tip for dealing with pain?
Well, I think everybody knows that like different painkillers, innovative painkillers is something that we all know, but love, comfort, cuddles, I think that's one thing that we shouldn't forget about our animals. They really understand, they realize who loves them, and they can really find comfort through that in their pain. So, yeah, that's my tip.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic tip. At the end of the day, all those actions, giving them love and comfort, we know it has a scientific background too, because it causes the endorphin release, which is your body's own natural
Exactly.
pain relief. So it's not even cushy like it might sound. It's actually fact. So yes, absolutely and completely, really, really sound bit of advice there. Thank you so much, Victoria, for joining us. And thank you so much for everybody watching and for your wonderful comments and questions. Really, I'm very grateful. It's been an amazing last one in our series 4 of Cuppa Tea with a Vet. So thank you so much. And obviously, I will hopefully get out there for when we are going to have our series 5, but it'll be a while. So thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so much,
everybody.
Donna. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.